Illusionists exist in the narrow space between belief and deception. For thousands of years, people have watched the impossible happen: objects vanishing into thin air, animals appearing from empty hands, bodies divided and restored. Magic isn't just about being fooled, it reflects the limits of technology, the shortcuts in our minds, and the boundaries that we assume can't be crossed. So, where did magic really begin? My name is David Penta, and you're watching ZTV's Smart Cookies. One of the earliest recorded magicians appears in ancient Egyptian texts from around 2700 BC. A performer known as Didi was said to entertain the pharaoh with feats like restoring decapitated animals to life. It's difficult to verify how much of Didi's story is true, or even whether he existed at all, but accounts like these show that illusion has fascinated audiences for thousands of years.
But without video or detailed records, much of early magic must be reconstructed through writing and interpretation, leaving modern audiences to imagine how these tricks might have worked.
As magic spread through Europe, it became tangled with superstition and fear. Performances that seemed too impossible could be mistaken for witchcraft, and accusations of supernatural ability could be dangerous. Rather than disappear, magic adapted. Performers relied on smaller, subtler tricks that could be explained away as cleverness rather than sorcery. That began to change in the late 1500s with the publication of The Discovery of Witchcraft, one of the first books to explain how popular magic tricks were actually performed. By revealing the mechanics behind illusions, the book helps separate magic from the supernatural. Naive people began to see magicians not as sorcerers, but as skilled entertainers, and that meant magicians had to work even harder to impress them.
As magic tricks evolved in form in the late 1800s, magicians started using household items to perform their tricks, which brings up an interesting question. Why do so many magic tricks involve playing cards?
Well, cards are cheap, portable, identical, and most importantly, familiar. When an audience already understands an object, it becomes the perfect tool for deception. Cards aren't mystical, they are ordinary, and that association between familiarity and unfamiliarity made the impossible feel even more impossible. By the late 1800s and early 1900s, magic had become a popular form of entertainment, and magicians began performing on larger stages for larger audiences. One performer in particular helped redefine what magic could be. Known for his daring escapes and extreme endurance, Harry Houdini transformed magic from simple tricks into full-scale spectacle. His performances were so convincing that many believed he possessed supernatural abilities, a testament to how powerful illusion can be. More than just entertaining audiences, he challenged what people believed the human body was capable of.
In the decades that followed, magic continued to grow in scale. Performers began designing illusions not just for theaters, but for television audiences.
Among the most successful of these was David Copperfield, who transformed magic into a global spectacle. Starting at a young age, he quickly rose to fame and became known for his massive illusions staged for television. He made airplanes vanish, walked through walls, and even made the Statue of Liberty disappear.
No idea what it was.
Fascinating to watch it.
I tell you, if I was home watching on TV, I would be a little skeptical, but I was here and it was there, and now it's not there. I don't know what happened to it.
Magic was no longer just something you watched live. It had become a shared experience for millions at once. But as audiences became more familiar with special effects and camera tricks, expectations began to change. People didn't just want spectacle anymore. What they really wanted was authenticity. They wanted to feel close enough to the magic to believe it might actually be real. That shift helped usher in a new generation of performers, including David Blaine, who stripped magic down to its essentials. Instead of grand stages and elaborate sets, Blaine performed inches away from his audience, often on the street. His tricks felt less like performances and more like encounters, moments where the impossible seemed to happen in ordinary places. Around the same time, magicians like Chris Angel pushed in the opposite direction, blending illusion with stunts, music, and television spectacle. Magic became faster, louder, and more extreme, designed to compete with the intensity of modern entertainment.
Together, these performances showed how magic continues to evolve with its audience. As technology advances and skepticism grows, magicians adapt, finding new ways to surprise people who think they've already seen everything.
That brings us to today, where magicians thrive as artistic entertainers, sharing the stage with some of the biggest performers on the planet. What started as a couple sleight of hand maneuvers has evolved into one of the most highly respected performances of its kind.
From ancient Egypt to modern television, magic has always evolved with its audience, changing alongside advances in science, psychology, and technology. As people become harder to fool, illusions will grow bigger and more sophisticated and more personal, constantly adapting to match what audiences believe is possible. Magic lives in the space between explanation and mystery, where certainty gives way to curiosity. And as long as that space exists, the art of illusion will continue to find new ways to astonish us. And if you've been astonished by this episode, make sure to like and subscribe here on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. As always, I've been David Penta, and you've been watching ZTV's Smart Cookies.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. Do you want to gain experience in video production, professional social media, or working with real clients? Visit the UA School of Communications online or follow us on social media to learn more. ZTV, make media, make a difference.